Yo, 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 yo. We back. We is back. What it is. Donald Trump. Donald Trump say he ain't making it in heaven, y'all. God dang, champ. He said he ain't making it in there, man. He ain't got what it takes, man. He haven't been a good enough person. What made him say that? What would he did, yo, to come to that conclusion? And typically, people talk about not making it in heaven because they commit crimes. I mean, murder, assaults, violent crime. I wonder what's his reason to say he ain't making it in heaven. Cause this ain't me saying it, y'all. He said this. This is his words. Yeah, but no, what's even crazier, right? I done seen Donald Trump speak about Christian values 1,000,000 times over. So it's like, how is he pushing Christian values, but then say he ain't making it to heaven? So he's not abiding by these same values that he's pushing on the people. Just was thinking about that, yo. It's a little odd, a little strange, A little strange. Make sure you hit that like button, man. And we still keeping an eye out on that situation in South Carolina. They still haven't released a motive. They haven't released a suspect. They haven't did a press conference. They haven't did anything. It's a little strange too. You already got people on YouTube talking about, look, black on black crime. But I don't think that's what it is. I think if a black man committed that crime, his name would have been all over the fucking news. Pretty sure of that. Never seen a situation where a black person committed a crime like that and they didn't take the opportunity to, shine light on the perpetrator. Never seen that before. But I've seen that in other cases. I've seen that in other cases where the perpetrator wasn't black. But before we get to Donald Trump, we're gonna wait some people get in here. We need some Donald Trump supporters. Let's listen to the latest in the South Carolina situation. Like, how is 20 people killed now hold a press conference? I don't think we ever seen that before. I mean, 20 people shot, mass shooting, and they don't hold a press conference? That's crazy. No update in the last. No update in a while. I thought we're gonna get an update. Nope, no updates, y'all. Shit is crazy. What's up, Carl? 2800. That's what he said, yo. Bar and Grill on St. Helena Island. Hold on, I'm ready to run the store. So far.
4 people are dead, 4 are in critical condition, at least 20 others injured. WJCL 22 News' Grace Rodriguez is live at Willie's Bar and Grill, where the shooting happened early this morning. And Grace, you've been out there talking to people. What are you hearing from them?
Thank you, Lydia. I'm inside Willie's right now, and I have Willie Terrell, the owner of Willie's, here with me. Willie, just tell me a little bit about what happened last night.
Yeah, so of course, as everybody know, tragedy here at the establishment. Have people lose their lives. We, as far as like everything that led up to the events at this time, we don't have a full picture. Of course, we're naturally waiting on the sheriff's department to finish the investigation. But as we know right now, folks lost their lives, and we're just kind of dealing with that tragedy as a community and a business.
And Willie, people are saying that there were hundreds of people here last night. We saw a lot of, cans outside, people celebrating things. Kind of, how does that feel to host that celebration, but then see such a tragedy?
Yeah, it's hurtful. We had a well-attended event. Prior to the incident, people were smiling and celebrating and having a good time. It was an alumni event, so it's just, it's kind of, these are the lost for words. It's hard to kind of make sense of what transpired and how things turn. A great night just turned into just a horrible time. Yeah.
And as the owner of Willie's, what's your message to the community?
Well, the day we got to clean up, we got to move forward. Unfortunately, this is not just a something that happens here or Willie's problem. This is a nationwide problem. We live in a state that's 44 in education and 6 in gun violence, and I think just eyes have probably been open. I don't know how many more kids have to die until we take a proactive approach to dealing with the issues that affect this community and many communities like this one. So, today we gotta, our hearts goes out to those who are dealing with loss and tragedy. And tomorrow we gotta pick up the pieces and make sense out of this so that they didn't die for anything.
Thank you so much, Willie. Lydia, back to you.
Thank you, Grace. And in that report, we're learning that it's an alumni event. We'll continue to update you. And Grace, we'll be back to you shortly, I'm sure. And in a Facebook post, the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office is asking for some patience as they continue to investigate this. They called it a tragic and difficult incident for everyone, adding that their thoughts are with all of the victims and their loved ones. And lawmaker reaction is also pouring in. South Carolina Senator Tim Scott responding to the mass shooting on X, saying the news is heartbreaking, and he's lifting up them in prayer, the families that lost their loved ones. South Carolina Representative Nancy Mace also speaking out on X, saying she is completely heartbroken and that her prayers are with the victims and their families and everyone impacted by this horrific act of...
Dr. Force, what it is? What's up, JB? What you say, Dr. Force? Rival industry. What y'all talking about, man? They gave a description of a suspect?
To the mass shooting on X, saying...
And tomorrow we gotta pick up the pieces and make sense out of this so that
they didn't even ask this guy. Hold on, we gotta go back. Did they even ask this guy about the suspect? Like, y'all never seen nothing? Or, this is rare right here, man. It's very rare that a crime of that magnitude happens and we don't get no description of a suspect at all. You interview the owner of the shop and you don't even ask him details of what started it or nothing. But you got black YouTubers like Elmo, fucking Anton Daniels, looking like Elmo out this bitch. Wasn't that Elmo? Who the fuck that was? We called his ass last night. It's the little red guy. It's the red guy with the big nose out from on Sesame Street. Ernie. You got Ernie motherfucking ass going on this platform talk about, yeah, black on black crime is a major problem in America. That's such a funny looking ass up, nigga. Big nose ass. Gonzo. No, it was Ernie, bro. He looked like Ernie. That's it. Yeah, you gotta go to live for last night. Yeah, I was watching the video. I said, yo, this nigga look familiar. Like, who the fuck do yo look like? Then it hit me. Yo, this nigga look like Ernie. They might be related. You know, he a character any motherfucking way. Yo, but did they give a description of a suspect? Then we gonna get to Donald Trump not going to have it, man.
The events at this time, we don't have a full picture. Of course, naturally.
And early this morning, and Grace, you've been out there talking to people. What are you hearing from them?
Thank you, Lydia. I'm inside Willie's right now, and I have Willie Terrell, the owner of Willie's, here with me. Willie, just tell me a little bit about what happened last night.
Yeah, so of course, as everybody know, tragedy here at the establishment, and people lose their lives. We, as far as like everything that led to the events at this time, we don't have a full picture. Of course, we're naturally waiting on the sheriff's department to finish the investigation.
Look, he was told that. Yo, this is not something that normally. Come on, y'all. We don't talk like this. You know, at this time, you know, we don't have a full, accurate description of the picture. We waiting on the sheriff department. Nah, yo, he was told to be quiet. You better not say nothing. You feel me? Keep your ass quiet, nigga. Yo, we talking about, 4 dead. I never seen a situation where 20 people was injured, 4 dead, another 4 in critical, and they is quiet about the circumstances that led to the shooting. We going on 24 hours now. Going on 24 hours.
Investigation, but as we know right now, folks lost their lives, and we're just kind of dealing with that tragedy as a community, the business.
And Willie, people are saying that there were hundreds of people here last night. We saw a lot of, cans outside, people celebrating things. Kind of, how does that feel to host that celebration, but then see such a tragedy?
Yeah, it's hurtful. We had a well-attended event.
Now I told y'all about the historical element of these people in this little island in South Carolina. A lot of them, the same. They was having what you call that shit, yo? When you graduate, alumni. They was having like a party for alumni for a certain school out there. And a motherfucker came and shot that bitch up. And we not getting no details of the situation. What's up, Shira? AC Unit. Man, where you was at yesterday, man? Talk about white on white crime yesterday. I was looking for you. Yeah, hell yeah. You already know what it is, C Unit. They keeping that shit quiet, man. Keeping it very, very quiet. It's crazy.
Prior to the incident, people were smiling and celebrating and having a good time. It was an alumni event, so it's just, it's kind of these are the lost for words. It's hard to kind of make sense of what transpired and how things turned. A great night just turned into just a horrible time.
And as the owner of Willie's, what's your message to the community?
Well, today we got to clean up. We got to move forward. Unfortunately, this is not just a something that happens here or Willie's problem. This is a nationwide problem. We live in a state that's 44 in education and 6 in gun violence, and I think just eyes have probably been open. I don't know how many more kids have to die until we take a proactive approach to dealing with the issues that affect this community and many communities like this one. So, today we gotta, our hearts goes out to those who are dealing with loss and tragedy. And tomorrow we gotta pick up the pieces and make sense out of this so that they didn't die for anything.
Thank you so much, Willie. Lydia, back to you.
Thank you, Grace. And in that report, we're learning that it's an alumni event. We'll continue to update you.
Alumni.
And Grace will be back to you shortly, I'm sure. And in a Facebook post, the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office is asking for some patience as they continue to investigate this. They called it a tragic and difficult incident for everyone, adding that their thoughts are with all of the victims and their loved ones. And lawmaker reaction is also pouring in. South Carolina Senator Tim
said peace in the Middle East. Donald Trump is speaking on people. Okay, what Donald Trump said, he ain't going to heaven, y'all. So for all the people wishing that you got a chance to meet Donald Trump in the afterlife, if you're going to heaven, he ain't going to be there. He's not, not by his standard. So let me show you what happened, man. Donald Trump was asked about going to heaven, and this was his response.
Weeks ago, you were doing an interview and you talked about how you hope to end the war in Ukraine because it might help you get into heaven. How does this help? Does this help?
I mean, I'm being a little cute. I don't think there's anything going to get me in heaven. Okay. I think I'm not maybe heaven bound. I may be in heaven right now as we fly an Air Force One. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make heaven, but I've made life a lot better for a lot of people. And as an example, had the election of 2020 not been rigged, you would have millions of people living just in Russia, Ukraine alone. That would have never happened, and it didn't happen for 4 years. And I knew Putin very well. It was the apple of his eye. That all the things I've said would have never happened.
Weeks ago, you were doing an interview and you.
So y'all, he confirmed it, y'all. It's not coming from me. Man ain't going to heaven, man. He said ain't nothing he can do to get him in there. God damn. That man said ain't nothing he can do. He can motherfucking feed the homeless every day of his life. Well, for the rest of the day, he probably got a couple days left. A couple years, but for the next at least 5 years of his life, he can feed the homeless and give away all his money and do all type of, honorable things. His ass still ain't making it in that bitch. He too far gone, man. I think most presidents probably ain't gonna make it to heaven, to be honest. It just shows, that how you gotta be to be the leader, You gotta be dirty, you gotta be cutthroat. You gotta make decisions that ain't in the best interest of the people. Same shit we talk about all the time. Yeah, man. He's great. They got Christian extremist groups that we don't ever talk about. But he just did a press conference with Benjamin Netanyahu. Let's check it out. I don't know when Donald Trump got so close to Netanyahu, but I told y'all what happened, in my opinion. I told y'all what happened. Donald Trump, them people threatened that man's life, and he changed his tune. You gotta remember, y'all. I didn't say people change. I just talked about that shit yesterday with Aunt Glizzy. When shots get to firing, people get to changing. You know what I mean? You might change where you live. You might change your political stance. Shit. You might even change your identity. You heard me? People get to change, man. That man got fired on. Now him and Benjamin Netanyahu best fucking friends. I don't remember them guys being this close on his last term. Was Trump and Netanyahu best friends on his last term?
BetMGM Casino. Jackpot. So many.
BetMGM Casino.
Thank you very much.
Look at my man look at my man.
It's a great honor. Nice place. Very nice place.
For the American flag out.
Mr. President, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Speaker, esteemed members of the Knesset, and cherished citizens of Israel, we gather on a day of profound joy, of soaring hope, of renewed faith, and above all, a day to give our deepest thanks to the Almighty God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
He just said he ain't going to fucking heaven. See, y'all, see, this the bullshit. Come on, y'all. Like, it's not making sense now, man. He just said he ain't going to heaven. And hours later, he giving praise to Jacob and Abraham, and I ain't gonna go that deep into it, but hey, the signs. It's a red flag right there.
After 2 harrowing years in darkness and captivity, 20 courageous hostages are returning to the glorious embrace of their families, and it is glorious. 28 more precious loved ones are coming home at last to rest in this sacred soil for all of time. And after so many years of unceasing war and endless danger, today the skies are calm, the guns are silent, the sirens are still, and the sun rises on a holy land that is finally at peace, a land and a region that will live, God willing, in peace for all eternity. This is not only the end of a war, this is the end of an age of terror and death, and the beginning of the age of faith and hope and of God. It's the start of a grand concord and lasting harmony for Israel and all the nations of what will soon be a truly magnificent region. I believe that so strongly. This is the historic dawn of a new Middle East. I want to express my gratitude to a man of exceptional courage and patriotism, whose partnership did so much to make this momentous day possible. You know who I'm talking about. There's only one, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Please stand up.
That nigga he done turned the bitch with Netanyahu, bitch. The fuck them niggas sleeping together or something? What the fuck going on over there, man? Need to investigate the relationship between Trump and Netanyahu, man. They're a little bit too close to be men. Yo, I ain't never, yo, god damn. That shit started getting uncomfortable. Hold on.
And he is not easy, I want to tell you. He's not the easiest guy to deal with. But that's what makes him great. That's what makes him great. Thank you very much, baby. Great job. And let me also convey my tremendous appreciation for all of the nations of the Arab and Muslim world that came together to press Hamas to set the hostages free and to send them home. We had a lot of help. We had a lot of help from a lot of people that you wouldn't suspect. And I want to thank them very much for that. It's an incredible triumph for Israel and the world to have all of these nations working together as partners in peace.
Hey.
And it's pretty unusual.
He better well call the baby. That's what it say. Like, it's like they had a gay relationship or something. Like, I don't know what the fuck going on over there, man. It's making me uncomfortable, man. I ain't gonna lie. It's a little strange.
Unusual for you to see that, but it happened in this case. This was a very unusual point in time, a brilliant point in time. Generations from now, this will be remembered as the moment that everything began to change, and change very much for the better. Like the USA right now, it will be the golden age of Israel and the golden age of the Middle East. It's going to work together. I'd like to thank several great American patriots for their invaluable help in getting something done that almost everyone thought was absolutely impossible. We were wasting our time. So many people said, you're just wasting your time.
Hey, yo, last election, right? Or last time he was elected president, he was hanging with Russia. It was Vladimir Putin. I ain't really heard too much Putin talk this presidency. That should have been a lot of Israel. Israel this, Israel that. Benjamin Netanyahu, my best friend. I love him to death. Been a whole lot of that kind of talk going on.
Word, because we had talented people working with us. And
we appreciate Siobhan for the $40 cash app, man. Sleep with Siobhan, man. How you feeling?
And people that love your country, and frankly, people that love the region. They love the Middle East. Want to thank my friend Steve Witkoff. You know, Steve was chosen by me. He never did this before, but I knew him as a few things. He was a great businessman, but I know a lot of great businessmen, to be honest with you. He had tremendous negotiating skills, but I know a lot of people that negotiate pretty well, although it is an art. But there are people that can negotiate pretty well. But most importantly with Steve, he's just a great guy. Everybody loves him. Everybody.
This guy, yo, he is on that bitch dick eating hard. Jesus Christ, Trump. What the fuck? Yo, this nigga crazy. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Yo, Trump in red 4 right now, yo.
I mean, I know some negotiators that are so good, but you wouldn't have had peace in the Middle East. You would be in World War III right now with some of these guys. Everybody loves Steve, and they respect him, and they somehow can relate to him. I've known him for many years, and I've seen it over again.
Don't look like everybody happy. I mean, like, based off this speech, you'd have thought everybody was elated. I don't know. It seems like some few people that don't like what's going on. I don't know.
להוציא גם את חבר הכנסת כסיף. להוציא את חבר הכנסת כסיף מהאולם. להוציא אותו מיד.
Do anybody know the details of this peace treaty? Or is everybody just praising it because it's a peace treaty? Have the details been released? You know, what do people got to give up? What is, you know, I know hostages are being released, but I'm sure got to be more to that story. Have they released the details of the peace treaty? Does anybody know? 'Cause I haven't heard any.
Sorry for that, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Please.
That was very efficient. So back to Steve. He's But I tell one story because he was so involved, and then we called in Jared. We need that brain on occasion. We got to get Jared in here. We got to get a certain group of people. But Steve started this all by himself. I call him Henry Kissinger, who doesn't leak. Okay? Henry is a big leaker. He leaked. Steve doesn't leak. Steve just wants to get the job done. He wants to do what's right. But I'll give you just a quick story because, as you know, he's working on the war with Russia and Ukraine, a war that would have never happened if I were president. A shame. 7,000 young soldiers a week are being killed. More than that this last week. It's a shame. It should have never happened. But it did happen, and we won the race, and I took over this horrible war that's been raging, and I thought it would be easily settled. I thought it was a hell of a lot easier than doing what we just did very successfully with Israel and a lot of other people. But this came first, and we'll get that one. But I set up a meeting for him to meet with, thinking it would be a 15 or a 20-minute meeting. Steve had no idea about Russia, had no idea about Putin too much, didn't know too much about politics, wasn't that interested. He was really good at real estate, but he had that quality that I was looking for, and I didn't see it around in too many ways. And I set up the meeting with Putin, and I called. I said, is Steve finished yet? That was about a half an hour into the meeting. No, sir, he's not. He's still inside. This is in Moscow. I said, well, how's he doing? I don't know, sir. He's still inside. I called up an hour later. Let me speak to Steve. Sir, he's still with Putin. He's with President Putin. I said, wow, it's a long meeting, 1 hour. I called up an hour later. He was still with Putin. 3 hours later, he was still with Putin. 4 hours later, he started to get the word that he was going to be coming out soon. And in 5 hours, he came out. I said, what the hell were you talking about for 5 hours? And he says, just a lot of interesting things. We're talking about a lot of interesting things, including what he went in there for, but you can't talk about it for 5. You can talk about it for a certain period of time and you know what you're getting. But that's a talent. That's a talent where you can do that. Most people I'd send in, number one, they wouldn't be accepted. Number two, if they were the meeting would last 5 minutes. And that's what happens with Steve. Everybody loves him. They love him on this side. They love him on the other side. And he really is. He's a great negotiator because he's a great guy. So thank you very much, Steve. Very much.
Man, salute to Steve, man. Steve's a hell of a guy. Come on, what the fuck is you doing? Steve's a hell of a guy, man. He gotta be a hell of a guy.
Experience the thrill with Bet Parks, where every moment counts and gigantic.
And let me also give a very special thanks to someone who truly loves Israel. In fact, loves it so much that my daughter converted. My daughter converted. I didn't know this was going to happen.
Hey!
And Ivanka's here.
This shit getting spooky. The fuck? I think his daughter converted. Shit, the fuck?
And Bibi, you do know this was not in the cards for me. You understand that. And she is so happy, and they are so happy. At least I think they're happy. If they're not, we have a big story, right? No, they have a great marriage, and they get along great. They're best friends. They have a very special relationship. But Jared has been so helpful. He really did something very special. He established the Abraham Accords with a group of very wonderful people. I like calling it the Avraham Accords because people that...
So what do y'all think about Trump saying he ain't going to heaven, man? What do y'all think about Trump? Is he the sacrificial lamb? Is Jesus? Is Trump? So I need y'all experts, you know, because I'm lost. This sound a little confusing to me.
right? Abraham. It's so cool. It's so much sort of nicer, you know, the Abraham versus the Avraham. I just don't want to sound too sanctimonious when I do it, so, you know, I sort of split it up. Just want to keep everybody happy. But we have some very great talent, and they have no excuses for anything that's taken place, because we had some unbelievably good people working on this. And then you're going to add a man, Marco Rubio, who is also here. That's right. And I have a prediction that Marco will go down, I mean this, as the greatest Secretary of State in the history of the United States.
Long history.
And he and I, you know, we really fought it out. You remember, he was tough. He was nasty. Who the hell thought this was going to happen, Marco, right? And now I'm saying he's going to go down as the greatest. He will. He was always smart and sharp, and people respect him. And then we have somebody who's young, but an unbelievable leader. I saw it a long time ago, and he's turned out to be even better than we thought. Right, Susie? I think even better. And that's Pete Hegseth, who is our Secretary of War, formerly Secretary of Defense. And as you know, we decisively won World War I. We decisively won World War II decisively. And everything in between and everything before it, we won everything. And then they had the brilliant idea of changing the name from war, you know, it was war, to defense. And with that went a certain thinking. And we fought in a very politically correct way after that. We always had the strongest military, and now we have a stronger military than we've ever had before because of my...
This right here, ESPN Bet. This is the sports book that gives fans the tools they need.
They could go into...
You did a whole fucking interview.
I thought I was going to run up here, make a speech, and then head to Egypt. It didn't work out, though. And you made a pretty long one, too, sir. But I liked what you all said. It could be worse. Supposing on top of it, I didn't like what you said. That would be no good, Ron, would it? Ron, you did a great job, by the way, Ron.
That's the whole speech right here. That wasn't the whole fucking speech.
Our eyes are filled with tears today. Our hearts are filled with gratitude. Our children are coming home. In the Babylonian Talmud, a sacred book of the Jewish people, it is written, whoever destroys one life, it is as though he destroyed an entire world, and whoever saves one life, it is though as he has saved an entire world. Mr. President, you have saved the lives of our hostages.
Hold on. So how we just discredit the other part? How you gonna say whoever destroyed one life destroyed the entire world? But then gloss past that shit like that shit ain't about nothing. But whoever saved one life saved the entire world, and that deserves a fucking clap. I don't know, that's a little crazy. So what do we do about the people that destroyed one life that destroyed the entire world? Like, how do we treat them people? Like, do they deserve praise too? I'm just a little confused about everything, y'all. You know, it's people that's more adverse in this than me.
But you saved so much more. You have saved the souls of the bereaved whose loved ones now will be brought home for burial. You have saved thousands of soldiers who will now not fall in battle. And you have saved millions from the horrors of war. You have saved more than one life, and each life is an entire world. This is a historic moment, and a reminder that history is shaped by people. It is shaped by those who know the past, but have the vision to change the future. When you were elected, you declared that you would be the president of peace. You have kept your word. The fact that you were not awarded the Nobel Peace Prize is a grave mistake by the committee. But they will have no choice, Mr. President. They will have to award it to you next year.
I ain't gonna lie, that sound like a threat. Yo, was that not a threat? He said, yo, they ain't gonna have no choice, but next year you gonna get that, I guarantee you. I guarantee you get it next year. That sounds like a threat to me.
Peace will not come by waiting. It will come by building, by reaching out, and by daring once again to believe. You, Mr. President, have done the unimaginable. We will be eternally grateful. But we also need to take responsibility. The destiny of Israel will always be written by the people of Israel. We must now prove ourselves worthy of what has been achieved. From its founding, Israel has said to the world that our strength, our power, rest upon our values. Israel is the strongest country in the Middle East because we are the only democracy in the Middle East. Because we believe in the principles laid in our Declaration of Independence, which says Israel will ensure complete equality of social and political rights to all its inhabitants, irrespective of religion, race, or sex. It will guarantee freedom of religion, conscience, language, education, and culture. It will safeguard the holy places for all religions. Those are our values. That is who we are as people, as a country. Our neighbors must understand one more thing about us. We are not going anywhere. The Middle East is our home. We are here to stay. Our story did not end in the Bible. It began there. It continues in our laboratories and universities, in our innovation hubs.
This is crazy.
Hamas, Hezbollah, Iran, and the Houthis, they all read the wrong intelligence reports. The real intelligence report on Israel's intentions is found in the book of Genesis.
Okay.
And I will give you and your descendants after you the land of Canaan for an everlasting possession.
Damn. Hey, he said it. Yeah, this shit crazy. Hey, I just pulled up to work though, y'all. Make sure I hit that like button. This shit is crazy. He said, bow down to our great king, Trump. Yo, Trump say he ain't going to heaven, yo. I don't know if he could be the king, man. Yeah, funny as shit. Oh, yeah, Nikki. Oh, my God. You need to take political advice from me. If you took political advice from me, you would back away from these motherfucking parties and get out the motherfucking rabbit hole. That's what the fuck you would do. Because both of them in cahoots. What the fuck you talking about? You think this shit real? You think they really care about the people? Y'all think they care about the people? And their people is their core focus? Or they just try to pad their pockets and cause people to be in disagreement? It's just a question I got. Just a question. You know what I mean? But I just pulled up to work, y'all. Make sure I hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. It's another day, QG dudes, and I'm out.